All right, everybody. So most of you I recognize. I feel like there's maybe one new face. Are you new? Are you new? Were you here last?
I haven't been here in a while.
Oh,
I've been
okay.
here the first time.
Okay, and then welcome, welcome. That's great. A majority of you came back. We're happy that you guys returned. We're happy you have some new faces. For those who are tuning in, hello. My name is Jake. I'm a community health educator for Project Healthy Community. Over the next 8 weeks, I will be doing an official cooking demonstration and cooking class with you guys. We will be using Cooking Matters. If anybody's ever heard of that?
Yes.
You have? Okay, have you utilized any of their resources or recipes?
Yes.
Okay. All right, for those of you who haven't heard, Cooking Matters is it's an open access community resource. So anybody can access it. You can just go onto their website. They have a ton of recipes, but they also have little modules or little lesson plans that you can do with kids, you can do it with seniors, you can do it with anybody in between. So they got a ton of awesome resources. So over the next 8 weeks, I will be doing an activity, a food demonstration like we do every week, but we're gonna try to make it more interactive going forward. So I'll hopefully have some printouts for you guys. It'll be interactive, so hopefully you guys will have more of a way to actually get involved, help chop up vegetables, actually make it. And what we're also going to do is try our absolute best to get as many fruits and vegetables that we can get our hands on that are related to the recipe. So, for our new faces and those who are tuning in, these are our produce boxes that those of you who are returning, you get one of these every week. They do vary, so you never quite know what you're going to get, but some staples tend to remain the same. There's always going to be some fruit, some vegetables, and it should be about half and half. So in your boxes, they create these nice little lists. You got the itemized list on the side of everything that's inside of it. And then Eastern Market also will have a little recipe for you guys. So in addition to the recipe that we'll be doing together, there will also be another recipe to really try to set you guys up for as much success cooking at home. So this week we have strawberries, oranges, we got some lemon, apples, spinach, green pepper, sweet potato, carrots, collards, some mushrooms, some parsley, and some garlic. Yeah, so in addition to having a nice variety of fruits and vegetables, most of them are semi or entirely locally sourced. So they try really hard to support local farmers, local distributors. So obviously some of the stuff might be out of season, might be from out of state. A big majority is locally sourced from the Eastern Market. So in addition to that, you got a whole box that we'll be giving to you guys every week. For those who are tuning in virtually, we will be delivering these after every family wellness program event on Wednesdays going forward. So you can look forward to me showing up to your senior center, your apartment complex, and I'll be dropping these off to your coordinator. So those of you who are here, as usual, we'll just snag it before you guys go. I have the truck parked right out there, and then should be able to get your box. Are there any questions? Any comments? Any concerns about the boxes?
Do you serve things that are non-dairy or somebody that's allergic to nuts?
Yeah, we try to stay away from a lot of the main allergies. Some of the recipes, like today I'm using yogurt for the dressing, but if you don't want it, it's super easy for me to substitute without dairy. Some of our recipes also have meat. But those of you who are vegetarian, you can always request. That's just fine. Luckily today we're doing wraps. So it'll be everything put in individually, be super easy to customize. But usually I try to stay away from meat-based recipes. I try to stay away from any of the main allergens, including peanuts or dairy. So you might have to bear with us and just make some nice requests, but I'll hook you up. Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else have any comments, questions, concerns? Yes. What are we going to eat today? Yeah, I'm so glad you asked. Let's get into that already, right? So I'm making veggie wraps. So we will be making veggie wraps. I have a couple things to talk to you guys about fruits and vegetables, how to incorporate them in your diet. a couple benefits of frozen versus fresh fruit and vegetables, and then we'll go along, we'll make these. So how it goes, I'll first pass this out. For those who are tuning in, we will send this recipe to you via email in our weekly announcements. And those of you guys as well, make sure that you're signed up for our email announcements. We'll make sure that the recipes are included. So Trish is going to pass this out. This is a make for make, exactly what I'm making today. With one exception, I couldn't find radishes. So there's just no radishes. But like we'll talk about today, instead of radishes, what can you use? If you don't like carrots, what could you use instead? Spinach, all that fun stuff. Hey Trish, can I actually snag one of those too, please? I'll just keep one in front of me so we can do stuff. Thank you. So yeah, this is a nice example of Cooking Matters, one of their open access resources. You yourself, anybody I know, could go online and print off this exact same thing. They have one for all the different recipes that we're making. One of the cool things about it is it has a little nutrition facts down at the side. It's also step by step. So they try really hard to make these so that I could do these with any of the kids in our schools. So it's really easy to follow. Yeah. Who's ready to get started? All right. Before I move on, I wanted to say too, with this recipe, I think we got lemons, I think there might be carrots in there. There's definitely spinach. Usually there's avocado. We got peppers in here this week. So there's quite a decent amount of ingredients that'll be in your guys' boxes today too. Has anybody ever make wraps before? Anybody ever make wraps? Yeah? All right. Does anybody want to share what their favorite kind of wrap is? Or, what was it? Any kind of wrap? So one of the really beneficial uses, I guess if you may, of wraps is they're super easy to pack and go. So I pack my lunch a lot because I don't like to eat in the morning. So I usually pack my lunch, and then when I'm super hungry, I'll eat it. And wraps are super easy to do. So really any kind of salad that you can think of doing, you can make it into a wrap. Today, obviously, we have veggie wraps, but I also got, with this recipe, it says veggie wraps, but in the ingredients, it has turkey as one of the ingredients. So we'll have some turkey for added protein. You could use chicken. You could use really any kind of meat that you wanted to, or you could just stick it with veggie. We'll start with the dressing, because if anybody's ever made wraps at home, and then you get hungry, come lunchtime, and you open up your wrap, and you take a bite into it, and you forget the dressing. Does that ever happen to anybody? No, it's really disappointing because it doesn't taste the same. It doesn't taste the same. It's dry, and there's just something about having a dressing or having a dip that really pulls a dish together, if you may. So, with this dressing, at step number 6, it was just basically you cut some avocado, you remove the pit, and you scoop it, mash it, add a little bit of lemon, and add some yogurt. So that's one. Pardon me? What were you saying?
I was just saying to myself.
Avocado's really good. There's not one in the box today. There was in weeks previous. So sometimes you get an avocado, sometimes you get a mango. But for this dressing, it's just those 3 things mixed together. Has anybody ever made their own dressing before? Say it one more time, I'm sorry.
I often wondered what you add as a sauce with the avocado. I put miracle whip.
Ooh. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, you could do any of that. You could do salsa. I love ranch dressing. I do. I love ranch. And if you get light ranch dressing, there's really no, I don't know, anything in moderation is what I always say. So the dressing that we're using is that. But a couple other ones that you can use, you can make your own balsamic dressing. So you can get some balsamic oil, some olive oil, maybe some Dijon mustard and mix it together, and you can make your own dressing that way.
That's like the dressing. They have a dressing for the apple, for the kale apple
They have a dressing in it. I make that one all the time.
Sounds
And
good.
it's almost like you said with the mustard, the oil, you know, honey, thing of honey and stuff like that. Make
Ooh, tahini's good.
Because I can't have dairy or cheese. So
Oh, okay.
I'll use avocado and tahini.
That's a good idea. Okay.
A little lemon juice and
Italian dressing. I've been into poppy seed dressing lately. It's a little sweet, a little tangy. You can make a honey mustard. Yeah.
So Jay, talk
Yes.
about, I see that you're using carb powder tortillas?
These bad boys, yes.
Yeah, I mean, talk a little bit about the different kinds of tortillas.
Sure. So these are whole wheat tortillas. I know they don't look it, which is why I was a little thrown off. When I was at the store, I was like, they don't have any whole wheat. I'm gonna have to go somewhere else. And then looking a little bit closer, they are whole wheat. But basically the main difference between something being whole wheat and something being a refined grain is that in its name. It's a grain that has been refined. It's been processed to remove the germ. Say again? Yep, yep. So a grain, I'm pretty sure it has 3 parts to it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
I forgot what the outer there is called, but the outer has the fiber. Yeah, so less fiber. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Yep. But
So what's the carb, it's lower carb, that particular one, I mean, according to the headline, or, you know. But how is it?
sure.
How does that happen?
So my understanding with how carbs are, if I'm understanding your question right. So anything that's like, the reason that carbs are concerning is because if your body has an excess of carbs and it's turning it into energy in the source of a sugar, if it's not using that, it's like if you're not exercising regularly, your body's not burning that energy, and so what it does is it stores it in the form of fat, so it can use it at a later use. That's my understanding. If anybody else has anything to say, please do, because I'm not a dietitian. I'm pretty well knowledgeable, but there's always room for correction.
I just wonder what the ingredients difference is between a carb powder tortilla and a regular tortilla. You know what I mean?
You know, that might just be marketing. That might just be marketing. They do that a lot.
Or, yeah, I don't know. We have to do a side by side in this.
Yeah, from what it looks like, it's water, starch, more starch, wheat protein, and then whole wheat flour. So, yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, so if you're picking up tortillas, look at them side by side. I'm just curious. Because a lot of people, if you are counting carbs, you might want to go with that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say wraps can be made with like collard greens
Yeah,
or leaf lettuce.
they sure can. Absolutely. I was gonna do that. I eat raw collard greens all the time. I'll just chop them up and put them into a wrap or something similar and bada bing, but I thought I would just keep it simple for you guys this time. But like I always say, like I always like to ask, what would you do differently? What would you guys add? What would you substitute, take away? Before I get into that, there you have it. So, so since this is our first week, I thought we'd keep the cooking demonstration a little bit simpler. In the weeks coming, they'll be more interactive. They'll be a little bit, I don't want to use the word intense, but it'll be more of a meal, more cooking. So, but this nice, super easy meal, you can pack it, you can eat it later on. And now I'd like to know, what would you guys do differently? What would you guys change? Sure.
On your wheat, wheat bread or wheat whatever, it causes inflammation in the body.
Yeah.
You do that? Yeah.
That's why so many people are going gluten free. Does cause inflammation. But I don't know. I think it just depends on your body's tolerance. My sister had it too. Yeah.
It's easy. It's just nice and silly, you know. Just a little bit of everything. So how I've been doing is doing the avocado first. Yes.
Is bread better than wraps? Which one is better?
So that's a good question. So most of it, depending on what the ingredients are, it really could be just about the same. You really just want to make sure that it's whole wheat or whole grains as much as possible. In one of our lessons, I'll actually bring in, when we talk about grains, I'll bring in a piece of whole grain bread, and I'll bring in a piece of white bread, and we'll do a little experiment and see how each of them are digested. So we'll do a little thing where basically I'll put it in some water, and after a little bit of time, we'll see how each one digested, and you can see why whole grains are better for the gut biome than,
Okay, also the 12 grain bread.
yeah.
Now, I use the 12 grain bread, I don't have too much of a problem with that.
Okay.
Because of the seeds,
Pardon me?
maybe because of the seeds that are in there, the 12 grain bread.
I believe so, because that's
Yeah.
super.
More rough? More fiber?
I think it's more fiber. Yeah, it's got a lot more fiber in it. So, fiber, for those of you who don't know or are less familiar with it, fiber is anything that your body cannot digest. So instead of digesting it, it just passes it on through in the form of bulk stool, if you may. So it's really good if you have issues with regularity or anything similar, because it can help you stay regular, but it can also make the experience more enjoyable. So you want one with what's? No, I have not. No, that does sound pretty good.
So you also notice the weight, right?
Pass that on down. What's up? Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Making a cauliflower bread sandwich one day and brought it to Somerton. It was like the best sandwich I've ever had.
Yeah, it's surprising.
How many pieces of turkey you get? How much turkey? How much turkey?
Just about like one. Yeah, that should be good. I have extra of stuff too, so.
You want to wrap them, roll them, and then you want to give me low bread.
So if you do not want a turkey,
Or cheese.
So you, I got yours. Oh, no cheese
is everyone
either.
good with turkey?
No dairy, no sour cream.
Okay. Jake, you want to make one for Miss Colleen?
Absolutely.
For the folks at home,
No dressing.
I got you.
a lot of questions were asked this morning that are really appropriate for our registered dietitian. So, Jake did a great job. Jake is extremely knowledgeable. He's one of our nutrition educators in the school along with Anna. Our registered dietitian, of course, has a tremendous background. And you can answer very detailed questions. So what I would suggest is write your questions down, and especially for folks at home, and we can email those or we can gather them up and get them to the registered dietitian. So I want to make sure no questions are unanswered. You can also discuss anything that's too complicated or detailed, nutrition with our nurse practitioner, Krista. She will be able to talk to you about how these various foods interact, especially around, health issues, high blood pressure,
Yep.
diabetes, things of that nature. So great questions this morning.
Absolutely.
Does anyone want a vegetarian one? Oh, but he's got you wired up.
It was. So
Burn down the house.
I don't know how it got turned on, but it's not my fault.
Or do you want any more dressing or anything? Or? know what?
That's a lot more spice than it does.
Right. We're missing the cake, Jay. No, it's that that's good. It's that sauce. Yeah, here, let's grab. Where's that?
Oh my god. Beyond juicery and eatery.
I used to hate having to work on roast. But I would always make myself the best wrap for lunch.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, I make it with spinach wrap, with some grilled chicken on there, cheese, extra spinach. Yeah, and I put it on the toaster.
Yeah, I always like my wraps. My
Just a little toasty. Yeah. They have this,
I got there should be actually. Oh, that was funny. You want a piece of turkey on that? Sure.
that was the one that was veggie. No veggies in it. No vegetarians in it.
Oh, okay. Yes. What's up? I got you.
See, I put a whole avocado on
Oh, you know I got you.
it. On the avocado, you're gonna have a problem with it. Okay,
It's so good.
yeah,
Let me know.
all right.
All right. You're welcome. Who else is waiting for a wrap? Perfect. All right, we're on it. Sure. Yeah. And we have extra too. If one wrap's not enough, to be able to make you guys another one too. We don't want to make all 100. Not yet. I'm gonna make her extra turkey one.
What are you looking for specifically?
In that drawer right below that first coffee machine, or the drawer next to it, right in front of you. The drawer right above it.
Sure.
Yes.
You want one? Go for it.
Oh, excuse me, sorry, I didn't mean to reach over your food. Yes, time to make a wrap. I would make the kids fruit wraps with the cream cheese and sliced strawberry bananas, and they would go crazy for it.
This is for you. You're making that one? You're making yours?
Yeah.
Go for it. I'll make this. I'll make the extra one. Oh, a little umbrella. should say right on your nutrition facts. I gotta print off right there for it.
220 or something. 220 calories. Okay. We need 2 more.
All right, perfect. There's one.
Yeah, but
Do the
2
last one.
people haven't gotten anything. Okay.
All right, well, for those of you who are tuning in, thank you. Like we said, this will be every week, same time. I believe going forward, we will be switching to a YouTube format. So next week, you should be able to receive a link to our YouTube page, and it'll just be a live stream from there. So you shouldn't have to worry about creating a Zoom account or anything there. So again, this will be highlighted in the follow-up email. For those of you at the Williams Pavilion, thank you guys for joining. I will be there in the next hour and a half or so to drop off your guys' produce boxes. So keep a lookout for me. And if there's nothing else,
It's a wrap.
that's a wrap. That's a good one. All right. But that's it. We'll see you guys then. Okay.
All right, grab 2 more.
You got 2 more?
Yeah.